in each of the different sections, properties, the whole properties, the projects, if you've got projects, the listings, the transactions, each one of these, whenever you're coming into these, this screen is brand new for you guys. Used to it would scroll down. We did the same thing on this screen that we did for the contacts a couple weeks ago, where now everything is a tab. What that allows us to do easier is add more tabs to the list. So if there's something that is missing, you guys would really like to have some fields to do something, we now have the ability to add new tabs. And within those new tabs, you can define what fields you want in them. So to show that, I'm going to come up here into the settings area, go to setup, merge options, and 3 or 4 weeks ago, we added the manage date field. So you can create your own date fields at any time. Those go into the important dates section, and those are what's used for routines. Those are important. We need to be able to create any kind of date fields that help trigger something. What we didn't have until this week was the manage custom fields. So you can create your own fields in the system. So I'm going to go in here into custom fields. And what this is this is a way that you can set up your own custom tabs. In this case, actually, I probably should have gone back. It'll make more sense if I go back one here. Let me go to contacts. I've already set up one in my system. Here's our list of dead presidents, all the people in there. I created a new tab for my contact database called search preferences. If I go into search preferences, you'll see that there are several fields in here. One thing that you'll see is there's actually 3 separate rows. There's a row of 4 fields, a row of another 4 fields, and then a row with just 1 field on it. So understand that we can, click into each one of these. We can do different things. There's different types of fields. This is a multi-select field. This is just a number field. You can type in a number in there. This is a multi-line text field. So we're going to go over how do you create these, but I like to show this is the tab title. This is the title that we give the tab. And then in each one of these, there are different rows. And in each row, there can be multiple columns. Be at least one column, but there can be more. If your screen gets shrunk down, it will move them accordingly. So it really won't be rows anymore. It'll fit them on the screen so that they fit properly. If they get too small, you can't see the fields, and that becomes a problem. So it wraps to the next line. So how we build that is we come in here and we can go into our setup section. And in setup section, we go to the menu options and we go into custom fields. Now, you guys should have this. Again, if you do not have this on your screen, you can come up, refresh your browser, and it should be made available. So what I did was I come in here and I clicked on add new tab. Whenever you add a new tab, you give it a name. I gave my name the search preferences, and it put it in there. Once it's in there, then it'll give me a place where I can start adding fields. Whenever you add a field, actually, let me go to one that doesn't have. Let's see if I've got anything in projects. I don't know that I do. Okay, so let's. I've not used the custom fields in the projects side yet, so this will give you a better example. Basically, you're choosing which database do I want my custom tab in: contacts, properties, listings, transactions, or projects. If you have projects. And then the add new tab. So for a project, we might have what would be a good separate field for a separate tab for keeping track of stuff. Let's say say expenses. I don't you name it whatever you want. That's the nice thing about this. So you name your tab, and you can come in here and rename it. If you don't like the name, you can change that. Then we can go in here and we can start adding new fields to this. So one of this, could be you tell it what row that you want it on, either the first row or a new row. In this case, we only need it on the first row. And we're going to put in here, say, kitchen expenses, whatever. And the placeholder is just a hint. It's like a little, maybe a 3 or 4 word sentence of what should go on here, and you can leave it blank, or it'll say something like, enter kitchen expenses, something like that. But then you can tell it what type of field this is. So I can put it in as a number only. If this is, an actual expense, it's probably a number of some sort, and I can put it in as currency, so that it has a dollar sign on it. I can say, well, I just want it to be a single line, type it in, put in, some different information, but just a single line. I could put it in as a multi-line field where it'll start off as a single line, but I can press enter and put multiple lines of information, more of a description, details information, stuff like that. Or I can use a drop down. So I can, put some kind of something in here. Maybe what I want to do is, instead of say kitchen expenses, maybe I want to say something like improvement location. And in this, I'm going to make my improvements in the kitchen.
Bathroom. The favorites.
Exterior.
That one's vague, but
whatever you put in what you want, and then once you've got that, I can click on save. Now, actually, I should have done one more thing. Whenever you're doing a drop-down menu, you have the ability to say, is this a single selection where I can only pick one of these, or is it a multi-selection where I can pick multiples of these? So in this case, it would probably make sense to let them do multiple. Maybe they're going to do a bathroom and a kitchen. You can go through that. And then I'm going to add another field. And maybe this time I will put in project budget.
Change orders total.
Change orders total. You've been experienced with this, huh?
Yeah, just a little.
Actually, would the budget be one though?
Yeah, I think you already have that though. It's like contract price is the same kind of thing, but then like there's a change order total, and then another one would be like your final
total. Okay.
Run,
and on this one, it's a number, and change order total. It's a dollar amount, I'm assuming, for change order. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And then what was the other one? Change order total and what?
And like job running total, which is like basically your original budget plus all the change orders.
Job running total. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say numbers only and make that a currency.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure I tested currency, so I hope it works. Now that I think about it, so I can do that, and maybe I've got that. Maybe I want to add another field, but I want to put it on a different row. I want to create a new row, and I want to put in here description, detailed description, whatever, and I want to make that a multi-line field. I click on save. So I've created the tab called expenses. Again, I probably change that to a different name now, but put all that kind of stuff in there and then click on save. What it does then is it puts it into the system for your account, and I can then go over to the properties side. I'm going to go back to our somewhere in time, and I'm going to go into projects. And you'll see now there's a tab over here called expenses. Click on expenses, and there's my improvement location. I'm going to do a kitchen and a bath. Said that backwards, but because I'm dyslexic. So it puts it in there as you're thinking, man, he's a comedian and a programmer. How awesome is that? We have the two choices there, and let me just see if this actually works. Say 40,000. Hey, it does work. Running total on this is 26,000 so far. Whatever. And then you can put in whatever multi-line description of stuff that you want to put in there. So we added a multi-selection in row 1, the two different values in same row, just different columns, and then we've got a whole description area. And then by doing that, now these fields become custom fields that can be included in your merging. So if you are sending out an email to the owners saying, hey, here's where we're at right now, here's the total that we're going to be doing, here's where we're currently at, whatever, you can do that. So each one of those. So by adding not only custom dates, we now have the custom fields and putting in there. There are the 4 different fields right now, and there's some variations between each of the 4, but we do plan on adding some additional ones. Just remember, anything that is a date field, though, we're going to always put into the important dates. Add those separately. Would they be good to have in here? Probably, but we want to keep all of our dates together.